Welcome. I'm Max Rodriguez, founder of the Harlem Book Fair and publisher of QBR, the Black Book Review. Thank you for joining us once again on the Harlem Main Stage. Today, we're joined by author Esther Byll, author of The Girl from Lome, Freed Through Forgiveness. Welcome, Esther.
Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure to speak with you, Esther. We know from your book that you are from Lome, a
Mhm.
city, a town in Togo, in West Africa, and yours is a very compelling and riveting story. Before we talk about the book, tell the readers um, about Lome, about Togo. Give us some context for your story.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. Lome is a part of Africa, but West Africa. Africa is so many places, is a continent, but we are from the west part of Africa, which is Togo. Togo, like to go, but one word Togo. And Lome is the capital of Togo from West Africa. And Lome is a beautiful place, is in the south of Togo with a beautiful Atlantic Ocean, a live people with a good diversity of people. You see, Portuguese migrated there. Togo was colonized first by the German, later the Portuguese, and then later French. So we are part of that culture, multicultural place. Is Togo also is next to Ghana, is between Ghana and Benin.
The subtitle of your book is Freedom Through Forgiveness.
Mhm.
I know that this is a book about childhood trauma, about intergenerational trauma, and it's also a book about forgiveness as a process for self liberation. It is at times a harrowing book to read. It's not an easy read because it's so intense. And
That's
what I mean by that is certainly an informative and enjoyable read, and it is intense for the life that you live.
what I want the audience to know is about how far I travel. I travel spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And it is a tough life hmm, and that I have to go uh, through my mother's family and ending up in my father's family because it's two places I moved through. One raised me with confidence when later I was switched from my mother's house to my father's house, which exposed me to other life living. And I realized in my father's house that my father went through a generational trauma that himself he never he was never able to come out of that trauma, which impact every decision that he was making. And I was just born in that trauma and exposed in that environment when they were not able to deal with their own trauma. They tried to impact the way that were born in that family by imposing some rules on us. If you are not able to follow that rules, they switch me from that environment later to expose me to a village. The village later was like ripping me off from my roof where I was comfortable in. They ripped me off there to switch me in the village, which I learned a lot of stuff in the village, but it took me away from my confident zone, away from my mother's Afro culture that I was being, it's like they cut the roots off my feet by removing me from my mother's house, the Afro generational beautiful people, imposing it in my father's house. I have to learn how to, as a child already, deal with handling the switch from one place to another place. When they cannot handle me, they switch me again. My father moved me away from the house I was learning how to manage to now to the deep side in the village, which was a trauma, from trauma to trauma. And then later I had to be exposed now to Vodou culture. Vodou culture is a traditional belief. Everybody is waiting for something mystical to connect with, a higher power, whatever we call it. Some people in my country, they worship that kind of stuff. Tree, rock, which they do some sacrifice on it. And then that was their belief, the belief of Vodou. They expose us, they expose me to that belief. As long as we are dealing with that, it's like going to Vodou Saturday, and the same father will take you to church on Sunday. So we are supposed worshiping Vodou Saturday night with all the ceremony, dance, and singing. Wow, that is what they believe. That is why we are learning what to believe. And then Sunday, wow, get dressed, nice, very nicely dressed. Oh, you are church people. Now we go to church. That again, they switched me from my roof, my mother's Afro roof, to my father's or to village, and then learning again how to worship Vodou, and then how to go to church. Those confusion expose me now to, it was in the book, like my brother in my father's house have to expose me to some kind of thought, which is in the book. And then later, everybody started taking advantage of me because I was exposed to the first evil. Now, everybody have hand on me, and then that end up to rape. Yeah, so that is how the book is so intense with so many things back in it that will help every human being. Well, I say my story can be your story, can be somebody's story in different way. Every human being who found something happened to them in my story.
Tell me about how you found your way to forgiveness. When very often there is blame for our parents for our lives or what was handed down, you were able to find your way to a place where you understood that they too were traumatized, and all they were able to do, along with everything else that they provided for you, was to share their trauma. How did you find your way to forgiveness?
Thank you for that question. That is a beautiful question. That question take me back to the little girl when I was hurt by everyone in my family. I want to talk to my dad. I want to talk to my mom, but they are not available emotionally because themselves, they are gone. They are physically present, but you cannot discuss anything with them. I don't have a possibility of conversation with my dad. Okay, from that moment, I go on the street looking for people to see if somebody is crying. If I see somebody is crying, I say, oh, that person must be feeling the pain I'm feeling. Let me go to this person and touch the person's arm. So I go around on the street touching people's arm. When they are crying, I say, it's okay. And then he push me to people's house. When I hear somebody die, I go in that house, healing people. So I become like, I give myself a comfort. Now I go around the street giving comfort to people. Then later I know, wow, when we go to church, we sing at church. Wow, it feels good. And then I saw statue inside the church. Some statue in Catholic church, some statue are women, some statue are men. Wow, so my mom is not available. My dad is not available. I feel good at church by singing. So I sneak, go to church now. I go to the woman statue. I hold them like my mother. I'll be communicating to that statue like I'm talking to my mother. And then I'll switch to the male, like my dad. Everything I have, I talk to the statue. And it makes me feel so good to go to church talking to the statue that represent my mom and dad. And later at the bench, something was watching out for me, protecting me. Big church, empty, me little girl. Once I finished talking to the statue, representing in my mind, representing my parents, I felt good. I go on the bench, I fell to sleep. I felt so good. I get up, I go home. I started throwing that thing on the statue until one day I say, those are a statue. They can never be my parent. From that moment, something took over my body, switched the statue now to the singing. Every time I want to go to church to talk to the statue, no, I switch it to the singing. I'll be singing now. Things are changing. Until I have to, later I was exposed to rape. My parents, I cannot even go to them telling I was raped. It made me switch again to go to the one that raped me. I have to go back to him. That was traumatizing. See, what you did to me, it got me pregnant. What should I do? That person now, wow, was in possession of me, doing everything he wanted to do to me because there is no place at home to communicate with a parent. You were raped, you have to go back to your perpetrator. Andioting in his end, taking me from abortion place to abortion place, and then still there. He tried so many things with my body to abort the child. But in that moment also, I was learning, being at the mercy of a perpetrator. But it's still growing something in me until when I came here. I have to move away, migrate to America. Think that I never spoke to my parent, that never asked me permission to talk. I never told my parent what happened to me. I never told them I was at the mercy of the perpetrator. My parent later just here. I was pregnant. Do you want to keep the baby? So by coming in America, I was learning how to speak English because I'm a French speaker. I went to high school, English as a second language. Later, I got a job to pay to learn how to speak English. And then I have to practice. Have a show, Oprah show. I don't understand what you see, but I like the lady. So I said, Oprah Winfrey show. I forced myself through the English to understand what she's saying by practicing how to speak English. And then I have to listen to the kids show, Barney, all of that, soap opera to practice my English. And then I forced myself to listen to news. It was in the news one day in America. I hear a child, 12 years old, was raped. And then they arrest the rapist. That was the moment I said, wow, what happened to me? I never talk about has a name. For the first time, what happened to me has a name. I was raped. Wow, to myself, I said, wow, I was raped. So now I saw in the news, people collect the child giving counseling to the child. I said, oh, they give counseling also in America. Where can I get the counseling? That was how my journey started. Searching for where the counseling place is, searching for training. And then I started speaking English little by little. I searched for those places. I went to women's space for training to heal and those that are raped. And then later I studied Bible also. And something just took over. I said, wow, let me use this to help other people that hurt. It was by doing prison. And then later I went to training by training and to become prison minister. To be able to forgive who raped me, I end up in prison ministry so I can forgive. So by doing prison ministry, one day I asked one of the men, why did you hurt women? And he said, his mother abandoned him when he was a little boy. So he put all his hurt on women by raping them. That was the moment in the prison ministry. It's like a crack to forgive prisoners and to forgive the one that raped me. That was when I found the strength. Oh my God. By service, I went to serve. It came back for healing to me, to forgive, because I understand that prisoner at that moment. He was hurt. He was hurting others. I will not use my hurt to hurt others. I'll use my hurt to serve. And then that one making me who I am today. Prison minister, chaplain, pastoral care, spiritual director. And then finally to take my story out to help my house, to help my family, my community, who know the whole world.
What I've learned in reading your story, from hearing your story, is that healing is possible even when facing the deepest of scars. Who would benefit from reading your story?
My first audience is first myself to put the stuff out of me. Put by writing the book, I say when you carry things, it just sit down your body. I have to lay it out now. It's like a cleansing. I don't carry that anymore once I'm free, once I'm healed. Throw it out for other people to see themselves in my mirror that healing is possible. I'm inviting everybody that went through something in their life, domestic violence, rape, physical abuse, whatever hurt they went through. It is possible. to be healed, to go through my story, my book, see every hurt I went through, but I never hurt back. Every hurt I went through later is like when you do yourself a favor, you say, oh, I'm hurt. I don't have to hurt back. And then you try to heal yourself emotionally. It just liberates you. And I want my audience to be everybody that is hurt to read my story to see healing is possible. And then going through hurt, maybe they might find their purpose. It's not okay for somebody to hurt anybody. But later, when you pause, you ask yourself, why am I getting hurt? Why? And then you find the solution, say, oh, that is when you see the other. Oh, whoever hurt me, he might be going through something. He's so broken. The pieces are not together. That's why they're hurting. And then by healing yourself, wow, invite people to read your story. Say, I did that. I went through this, but I'm healed. Heal yourselves. And then you fix the other broken glass. And then we heal each other. You go from one step to another. Heal yourself, heal other, heal the world. If they are going through a bad thing, say, no, something must be wrong. So invite them, share your story with them. Oh, if I went through this, I mean, you will be able to be here. I want my audience to be first people that went through trauma, and then everybody, because something always happens to somebody, even if it's an insult. Some insult might hurt you so bad, you want to give it back to that. But no. If you liberate yourself, the person will look at, wow, I hurt that person. But he didn't even react. No, because you are more mature. That person might even come to you, wow, I hurt you, but you still looking okay. You say, yes. Okay, come, I'll teach you what I did so you can be healed and stop hurting other people.
That's wonderful, Esther. And I tell you honestly that I found all of that spirit and all of that intention in your
Mm.
book. I just want to congratulate you for having found your way through such trauma to the point where you understand the source of the pain and you can forgive yourself, you can forgive others, and you can learn and earn from it, which you have done, and then to share that story with others. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the audience before we close? Anything that we may not have covered?
Yes, and by going through this, writing my story out, people that are not able to see my book or to know I am a writer, we send other material out, helping the community with the second book, which is Journey into Your Inner Child and Journaling for Your Personal Empowerment. So we carry that for free to the community, distributing it everywhere. We go to churches, we go to parties, we go wherever they have some event. We carry that in to help others. Come on, something might happen to you. Just take this book for free, write it down, go to yourself. And instead of watching TV or news, no, go deep. You need to be healed to heal the world. By doing that, it's not over. We have to now invite people at some table for dinner. We create a non-profit, Unseal the Truth, inviting people for conversation, and then which is something we work hard, me and my partner, we work hard. Sometimes we go get a job cleaning up. Two, send to orphanage. From one nonprofit, we have the second nonprofit. The first nonprofit is Unseal the Truth. Come, let's unseal the truth. I have a truth, you might have your truth. Let's share it together and see what is deep inside and then healthy. That help me and my partner. Now we have the second non-for-profit in West Africa, Togo, in my country, Lome, helping the kid that will be going through what I went through, but they have nobody to help them, nobody to be there for them. So our second nonprofit is doing that job. We work hard, whatever we have to work. Oh, we knock on the door. Do you have something we can clean up for you? You cannot imagine two adult people. My partner, his name Jay, we go cleaning up, fixing things, collect money, and send it to the second nonprofit Carde in Lome. Take it, go to orphanage, buy food for people, and buy them clothes, ask them for emotional healing. That is what I want people to know. When you are here, do your best. You don't just have to have money to help people. Do something, help others. So them also they can find healing. We don't do things always to wait for profit. That's why the non-profit, if they want to help me, to help others, that's what I want them to know. Yes.
Where can readers find your book, Esther?
It is
Where can they
on
find your book?
Amazon for now until we have a chance if somebody can take over it. Yes, for now it is on Amazon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Esther, for having the courage to journal, to tell your story, to cleanse yourself of all of that pain and serve as a model for others who are in pain to cleanse themselves from that trauma, not to uh, not to erase the past, but to render it powerless over you. We were joined today by Esther Byll, author of The Girl from Lome, Freed Through Forgiveness.
Thank you, Mas, and thank you everyone for having me. It's a pleasure.
I'm Max Rodriguez, and we'll see you at the next book.